I was trapped in an elevator for 6 hours with a stranger who's now my husband. But here is one thing about that night I've never told anyone. It was just supposed to be a quick trip down to the lobby to meet my herb. I worked late, finishing a presentation. It was nearly midnight on a Friday, and all I wanted was to get home, kick off my heels, and fall into bed. When the elevator doors opened on the 17th floor of my office building, there was just one other person inside, a guy about my age in a wrinkled dress shirt, loosened tie, and that particular glazed expression of someone ending their work week. I stepped in, pressed O, and leaned against the wall, crowing through emails on my phone. We were somewhere between the 11th and 10th floors when everything jolted violently, the lights flickered, and the elevator ground to a complete stop. That can't be good, the guy said after a moment of stunned silence. I rolled my eyes, already pressing the emergency call button. Nothing happened. The next few minutes were a blur of both of us trying our phones, no reception, pressing every button on the panel and shouting for help. The emergency phone in the elevator was dead. We were completely cut off. Building maintenance goes home at 10, the guy said, loosening his tie further. And security doesn't do rounds on the upper floors until 3 a.m. How do you know that? I asked. I work in risk assessment. It's literally my job to know the security amp in this building. He smiled and extended his hand. I am Daisy, by the way. Emma, I replied, trying to ignore the panic building in my chest. With follow-up were 6 of the most unexpected hours of my life. We sat on the floor of that elevator, 2 strangers sharing life stories, fears, ambitions, and terrible jokes. David had emergency mints and a protein bar in his bag, which we split. I had a nearly empty water bottle. We rationed it like we were stranded in a desert around hour 3. The emergency lights dimmed to conserve power, leaving us in near darkness. That's when our conversation deepened. David told me about losing his father the previous year. I shared my struggles with an autoimmune disease that had derailed my athletic career in college. There's something about darkness and uncertainty that strips away pretenses. What scares you most? He asked around hour 4, his voice coming from the darkness beside me. Right now, dying in an elevator with a stranger, I joked, but then added more seriously, wasting my life playing it safe. When the security guard finally found us at 3:17 a.m., we were huddled together for warmth, as the air conditioning had made the elevator freezing cold. The maintenance team took another 40 minutes to get the doors open. As we stepped out into the lobby, blinking in the sunlight, there was an awkward moment. We'd shared more in 6 hours than I had with people I'd known for years, but now, what go our separate ways with a good story to tell. I know a 24-hour diner that makes great pancakes, David said. I figure after surviving an elevator disaster together, we've earned some. One pancake breakfast turned into a coffee date the next day, which turned into dinner the following week. 2 years later, David proposed on the 17th floor of our office building, right in front of those same elevators. We got married last spring. It's a perfect meet-cute story that we've told countless times at dinner parties. Everyone loves it, saying things like, it was meant to be, and some things are just fate. But here's one detail I've never shared with anyone, not even David. When the elevator first jolted to a stop, before we tried the emergency button or our phones, before we even spoke to each other, I'd had a clear view of the elevator control panel.